This video today will be covering why I predict Taiwan being invaded by the Chinese or something along those lines happening in the next couple years under Joe Biden's presidency or Kamala Harris, on the off chance he dies or something. Basically, this is informed by the Ukrainian subversion by the Russian government here recently in 2022. We were looking at a lot of changing things going on in the world and a lot of things that are beyond the grasp of many people to understand. And I will basically tell you why not better than Nostradamus. This will be very. This is like an excellent prediction, by the way. I believe that China is going to invade Taiwan, and a lot of fear mongering. There's been a lot of fear porn by Steve Bannon and a lot of these populist ink people saying that, oh, Taiwan, we need to defend Taiwan, we need to defend Taiwan, and they're right, but for the wrong reasons. Obviously, Taiwan is our ally. We basically guarantee their sovereignty. Oh, sorry. If we didn't defend them, we would look like bitches. And the consequence of not defending countries, guys, is that when we lose the respect of one, we lose the respect of like 10. Okay, so if we lose Taiwan, then what is Japan going to say? What is South Korea going to say? And basically, beyond all this, the reason why we have to defend other countries is because other countries invest in ours. Meaning that if the public reputation of America's military went down the drain, overnight, we would be losing trillions of dollars in the stock exchange, etc. Because there's been so much foreign investment in the United States, our trade deals would be shit. I mean, definitely everything would go down. Okay, so losing a country that you guarantee the sovereignty of is the equivalent of letting your kid go missing or something. It is an embarrassment. Sure, maybe you will be healthy, you will survive. America won't get invaded anytime soon, but any respect you have from the community outside of you is going to be greatly diminished. And quite frankly, it is untenable to let Taiwan get invaded. Now, I have friends that say that Ukraine being invaded is fine and, in fact, the right thing, and that Daddy Putin is awesome and that America sucks. Okay, and that is half true. But but if they invade Taiwan, oh shit, okay, that's where I draw the line. Well, genius. We'll see what happens here in Ukraine. Anyways, the problem with the invasion of Ukraine is that if we do lose it, basically what that shows is that we are not able to stick out our neck for countries that we implicitly supported and endorsed the sovereignty of. Okay, so we did this whole bitching about like, oh, you can't take Crimea, oh, you can't do this, you can't do this, and then what, for them to take half of Ukraine and then we do nothing? Okay, so it's definitely a weak point, and a lot of people on the right wing and the far right have been saying, I want to give Zog a bloody nose. I want the Jews to. It's like, shut the fuck up. First of all, that is so gay that you like, does everything have to be about the Jews and the globalists? First of all, can we have a coherent argument without using the same 10 terms for these elites? Really? You think that Russia isn't controlled by oligarchs? You don't think that China is run and operated by, uh, what do you even call these people? Fucking pseudo capitalist, crony capitalist, running these big state subsidized industries in China and Russia? Get over yourself, guys. Okay, Russia and China have literally no moral superiority over America, despite how degenerate and fucked up the CIA and the gay stuff is in America. These countries have other stuff that is worse in spades, okay? And I'm not even going to make a big deal out of the concentration camps of the Muslims or anything like that. I don't really care. But the point is that every country is corrupted. And the fact is that we have to support America because we live here. And if the Chinese thought the way that you did, they'd basically concede everything to America. And that is just not tenable for the respective country that they're in, right? So to elaborate further on the Ukraine. So if we lose this, we lose face and we lose the respect of everybody, because part of the reason why we have respect as a country is because we have the strongest military. And if we refuse to use it, then that basically means that we're too much of a pussy to actually get anything done by force. So we'll lose respect. And again, a lot of people might rebut and say, well, we shouldn't rely on other countries. Well, smartass, that is the case, okay? There's no pulling back. Sure, could we have had a self-isolating country and economy 100 years ago? Yes, and would we have a shitty living standard and, quite frankly, we would be a rum state at that point? Sure. And would Canada be richer than us? Yes, technically, but that's not the case anymore. We can't basically the economy has to survive off of other countries too. Okay, we cannot cut off trade. It is literally impossible. There'd be like it'd be your life would be so difficult if that were to happen. Okay, so we have to more or less keep face in the world. Okay, it's like saying well, you can live in an apartment and never talk to anybody ever. It's like, yeah, you can sort of do that, but you'd be a hermit loser. We can't have that happen. We need to be globally important, right? We want America to be a strong country not only a strong country, but the best. And when we see Taiwan get invaded in a couple of years, it'll be because of people on the internet that said that Ukraine didn't matter. So when the Chinese figure out that we're not willing to defend Ukraine, we pull out of Afghanistan because of the public being discontented with it, or we pussy out of Iraq and we leave it because of public sentiment, it shows that whatever the public cares about is what the president will do. And this is a symptom of democracy and populism, okay? And China will see that if enough Americans at the home front don't care about Taiwan, they'll take it, and the pussy ass President Biden will not do shit about it because the American public doesn't want him to. And God forbid they lose an election at home over something that is righteous, like defending Taiwan. Okay, so we could see that they could do a naval slash aerial or whatever you call it, an air invasion, also a sea invasion. Obviously, they're at a pretty narrow strait between southeastern China and places like Taipei and Tinan, and basically you can land air troops as well in certain places over here towards the west. But ultimately, there's obviously a lot of mountains, and it's going to be difficult to take it at one fell sweep or swoop. And part of the reason why they haven't invaded Taiwan, despite them wanting it for 50 years, is because the American Navy has been doing exercises in and around Taiwan. But that is all under the pretext that we had a president that would have the balls to actually do something about an invasion. Exhibit A, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan would not let Taiwan fall. Donald Trump would not let Taiwan fall, in my opinion, either. My point is basically that we cannot afford to lose Taiwan. And for all the people that don't want America to get into another war, odds are that if and when China invades Taiwan, we either lose Taiwan and, oh, we save American lives and we don't risk people. Sure, okay, cool. And now we lose Taiwan, we lose clout literally everywhere. And on top of this, what I haven't told you guys yet is that Taiwan has 70% of the transistor production and, a mix of silicone and other stuff that we need on a daily basis. So what does that mean? Well, if we lose 70% of the key component of our electronics, that means the price of all electronics going forward will go up exponentially. Not only this, but it's not just that it would get more expensive. It would also just be rare to find. What that means is that if you guys have an iPhone, that shit is going to cost triple. And not only that, but you're hardly ever going to get one. So if you guys remember, less than 50% of the transistor, less than 50% of transistor or whatever you call it, production went down. So the computer chip production went down by less than 50% during COVID. And you saw all these problems sourcing technology, getting Xboxes, getting new technology like the PlayStation 5, right? So everybody struggled to get a PlayStation 5. Now multiply that by 3 and extend that to literally every single electronic known to man, because all of them use transistors in them. So at that point, you're looking at, paying like $2,000 for a PS5 in 2025. You're looking at, maybe your cousin having a gaming system. You're looking at, getting a new iPhone every 8 years or something for like $3,000. Okay. So it's untenable to lose our electronic output by getting Taiwan taken. And I don't want to hear a smartass saying, well, Ted Kaczynski said that the Industrial Revolution, I don't care. Okay. Even if technology is bad for you, even if automation is bad, every other country, including China, will use it to usurp us. And basically what happens when you let the Chinese innovate in front of you is that they'll just buy up all the corporations in America and then just subvert them that way. And then we can have Marxism at home, and that'll be awesome, right, guys? No, it wouldn't. So we have to keep a presence globally, because while we might be righteous and we might not want to intervene in other countries, you're damn wrong if you think that the Chinese won't stick their nose up our asses, because they will. And they've done this before, and so have the Russians, and so have the Israelis, and so have a lot of countries, frankly. And we cannot afford to lose Taiwan, because just for practical reasons, obviously, we cannot lose electronic production and have it go down 70%. We can't have the prices of domestic goods go up by that much. We also can't see us take this prestige hit by letting the Chinese run all over us. And again, if they take Taiwan, then what makes you think they won't take anything else in the vicinity, right? The Parcel Islands, that's a lot of potential oil they could be getting, okay? Indonesia, they could be going into Guam. They could take basically anything. The islands surrounding Japan, they could co-opt Japan. I know a lot of weeaboos would be pissed off. A lot of right-wing anime lovers would be livid if the Chinese got access to their fucking waifus in Japan. I'm kidding. Also, South Korea would be taken. And again, I just argue with these ignorant people over, well, I don't care. I don't care. Well, nigga, don't have an opinion then. Stop having an opinion. Just fucking go work your little blue collar job and shut the fuck up then if you don't have an opinion. Or oh, we shouldn't intervene because like my uncle's cousin had alcoholism from PTSD from a war from 50 years ago. Okay, deal with it, bro. We are in a place of high leverage. Okay, we have the best military, the best navy, the best trained troops, and that's even with Joe Biden as president. That's even with the faggots in the military. That's even with the woke stuff. That's even with diversity, which is not a strength. Okay, imagine what we could have if we had a semi-competent leader, and we could still pull this off with Joe Biden as the president, which is defending Taiwan. Now, a way to stop an invasion would be to deploy troops in Taiwan, but an even better way to stop that would be to defend Ukraine. The Russians be like, shit, well, shit. I mean, I guess the Americans are back, and the Chinese saying, well, if they're going to defend Ukraine, which is irrelevant, they're definitely going to defend Taiwan, which is super relevant. So, and then there'd be no war. We wouldn't have to fight over Ukraine, and we wouldn't have to fight over Taiwan. But instead, we have populists and leftists saying that, oh, well, Ukraine doesn't matter. Okay, well, we'll leave that. And then let's say everybody gets their shit together and we defend Taiwan. Well, there you go. There's a war now. Now you're risking World War III over something that could have just not have happened. So this is your whole domino theory, guys. In effect, we could have prevented this entire squabble from happening if we just stopped them at Ukraine, or if we just stayed in Afghanistan, and if we stayed in Iraq, or even better, we just hadn't intervened in the first place. But now that we're in the situation that we're in, we have to follow through, okay? We made our bed and we must lie in it, okay? I don't care if you're 16 years old and you had no input on this. I'm 18. I had no input on any foreign policy. I didn't vote for anybody. I'm too young for that. I still have to reasonably work within the confines of the shit we've been given, okay? You don't necessarily inherit your father's sins per se, but you definitely do have to deal with them, okay? We can just not walk away and say that this never happened. We can't just say, well, Bush did Iraq, we'll just leave this alone. Well, Biden did Ukraine, we'll just leave it alone. No, we have to deal with it, because if we don't, people are going to take advantage of that. Because in life is not fair, and we must defend Taiwan. And this is my prediction, basically, in a nutshell. I think that China will see the weakness in America, mainly due to its incompetent leadership, and beyond that, the people that elected him in the first place, and the people on the right wing that are complacent with that because they're too fucking upset over a war in Iraq that happened 20 years ago, and they'll go ahead and take advantage of the situation and the discontent in the American government, and they will invade Taiwan. They will take it, and if they don't, there's going to be a bloody war where thousands of Americans will die, billions of dollars will be spent, and we'll maybe defend Taiwan. But do we really want that? Okay, so that's it. China will be at the best position to attack Taiwan in 2022 or 2023, probably, with Joe Biden, who has dementia, who is weak, who isn't a smart guy right now. Obviously lacks conviction, is in a vulnerable place politically, has a sub 40% approval rating in most honest polls, and quite frankly, is in a position to lose the presidency, whether that be health wise or just like in the next election, basically. So at that point, I think China will invade, and they will probably take Taiwan, and we'll see a huge repercussion in the global supply trade. We'll see electronics get a lot more expensive, and we'll lose a lot of face, and we'll like basically just lose a lot of clout, and that would be a huge L for America. So for the sake of people in general, it's best that we get our shit together and start pulling up a bravado masculine frame. America has to hold frame and basically say we will not relent on Taiwan. Sure, we might have let Ukraine down, but we have to defend Taiwan. We have to deploy troops there. We have to keep the naval drills, the U.S., the carriers around this general area, so that we can make sure that we don't have to fight a war that we don't have to, okay? I think that's my basic point. So yeah, okay, final prediction. I hope you guys watch the video all the way through and comment down below what you think. I am very pissed off at this because I feel like this was completely avoidable had people listened to me a month ago. But obviously, more neocon, more nuance, more Ukraine. That's basically what they do. That's what the right wing, the populist people on the right wing and the left do. They just slander you. They say, "Oh, you're a neocon. Oh, you hate brown people. Oh, you don't care. You want our sons and daughters to die in a war." Like, dude, really get over yourself, bro. Having a military in and of itself guarantees that some people will die in the military, right? So for you to not want to deploy the troops is so stupid. It's kind of like having a gun and then never wanting to shoot it, okay? Like, you've got to use it occasionally just to make sure it works, okay? Because the second that you want to defend your home country against invasion and your gun is fucking jammed because you never used it before, you're gonna feel really stupid by not exercising it in places like Ukraine, Afghanistan, etc. So again, I'm just very pissed off. Comment down below what you thought. Obviously, I'm asking you again because I want some very coherent debate going on in the comment section. And I'll see you at the next video as well.